Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuhu. Subject computer application for 11th standard C section. So in this session we are going to discuss chapter 7 working with OpenOffice Calc part 3. Now last class we discussed the three topics, important topics of OpenOffice Calc, that is inserting columns, rows, cells, deleting columns, rows, cells and formatting worksheet. In this session, we are going to discuss the two more important topics of the same lesson. One is functions, another one is working with the charts. So let's start our class. Functions. What is function? Functions are the predefined formulae. For example, if you want to find the addition of five numbers, then you can use the formula like a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus a4. In the same way, these formulas are created and they are defined with a name and they are stored in OpenOffice Calc with 7 categories. There are 350 functions in OpenOffice Calc. All the functions are categorized into 11 category depending upon the function type. So these functions have their unique name and they have unique prototype. Here prototype refers to number of inputs required for the function. So now we are going to discuss how we can use this function for calculation purpose in worksheet. There are two different methods for inserting functions into worksheet. One, the direct insert method. Second one, using function wizard method. Direct insert method is known as a method for typing the function name and following the syntax. So this one is applied or used when we know exactly what is the name of the function and what are the inputs required for the function. So the important function and repeatedly used function in OpenOffice Calc is the sum, which is used to add the range of values. So here you can see the syntax of the sum function. So of course formulas and function should begin with is equal symbol. After that we use the sum, the sum sum, and open the parentheses. After that we mention the ranges. So each and every ranges are separated by semicolon and we complete after mentioning the ranges. We can enclose that ranges using the close parentheses. For example, if you want to know the sum of 5 cells, namely a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, then you can write the function like this. See, is equal to sum of a1 colon a4. So this is the method when we can use this method when we know the name of the function and the exact syntax of the function. If you don't know the function name, if you don't know the syntax and rules, then you cannot use this method. So now we are going to use this function for addition to find the sum in the OpenOffice Calc. So here you can see the number of columns are here, and now we are going to add a new column called total, where try to find the sum of the total of a student of different subject. So here we are going to use the sum function. The first rule, begin with is equal, type the sum, the function name, open the parentheses. Now here in the tip you can see number 1 semicolon number 2. So here we want to maintain the reference, cell reference. So to find the total of this number, of this range of number for the student Sarika, then type the first cell name. The first cell name is C2. Then type the range reference operator, that is colon. After maintain the type the last cell name, that is H2, because we want to know the values between C2 and H2. So C2, between the C2 and H2 you can see there are 6 cells. One is C2, D2, E2, F2, G2 and E2. All the cells data are arranged in this form called a range, and they are used within the sum function. So after typing the correct sum function and press the enter key, now you can see the total. If you didn't use the proper method, for example here if you remove the semicolon and type the comma, then you can see error, because range should be, that is syntax should be properly mentioned, then only we can use this method, that is direct method of function inserting function in worksheet. Suppose if you don't know what are the function, that is 350 functions are there in OpenOffice Calc, then you don't know how to use that function, then you can go to second method, the function wizard method. So wizard is a series of questions asked by the uh, OpenOffice Calc through the dialog boxes. When you provide the proper answer to that questions, you can automatically insert the function. So function wizard can be opened through two methods. One is select insert function method, or control plus F2, the shortcut for inserting function wizard. So when you see the wizard, there you can see the two boxes. One is function tabs, another one is list of categories available in the category drop down list box. In Office Calc, there are 11 categories. The categories are database, date and time, financial, information, logical, mathematical, array, statistical, spreadsheet, text, add-in. So if you select all, means from the list drop down list box, then all the function will display below the list box, and when you select any function, you can see the function description, that is the some definition about the function, some rules of using the function name, like a function name, syntax, and other description related to currently selected function. Now consider there was a method to find out the power. So we want to find the power of a two numbers, that is 25 power of 2. If you want to find the value 25 power of 2, then what will be the function? The function is power. How we can use the function? So for that, there was a simple steps are here. So we follow this function methods to use the wizard method for inserting power function. So power is a function which is used to find out the power of a value, two values. So here you can see, for in cell A1 we want to type the first number, that is the base value, and B2 we want to type the exponent value, and in C3, after selecting the C3, select the insert function and select the list box, choose mathematical, because power function comes under mathematical function, and click next button, and from next button you can see there was a two values, one is base value, another one is uh, exponent value. Select the base value, that is A2, and click maximize button. After select the base value, exponent value, and repeat the 7 and 8 steps. And if you, after checking giving the required input, and when you press the OK button, you can see the result. Now we are going to see the we are going to execute this method, power, finding the power of two values. So first method, I'm going to type the exponent value here, base value is here, and exponent value is here. Now here I want to know the answer of these two by using insert function method, function wizard method. So for that, go to insert menu, select function, or we can use control plus F2 shortcut also. So when you click this option, you can see function wizard dialog box appears. Here you can see the category. In category there were 11 categories which already discussed. So if you want to select all, then select all. If you want to select any other time, then you can see each and every time whenever you select the category, the function list below the category list, you can see the function list are changed. So we want to select the mathematical category because power comes under this category. So here in this function list box, you can see all the functions are ordered by alphabetical or alphabetical method. So here you can see the power. When you select any function, the description of the function is displayed here. So here you can see the syntax of the power function. So power function requires two input, one is base, another one is exponent. First we want to give the base value, and then we want to give the exponent value. What will happen? If this function will return a power of b, that is base a rise to the power of exponent b. So now we know how to give the input, what is the description, and what is the syntax of the power. Now press next button. So first input is power, so that is base. So here you can see the maximize button or minimize button. So this button is used to click to minimize this dialog box size and to select the required part from the worksheet. So click on this button. So now you can see the dialog box is shorted with the small bar. Now you can select the first value. So here 25 is the base value. So select the base value. When you select the base value, automatically that cell name is displayed in that text box. After confirming the base value reference value, click the maximize button and go to the next cell. Here again click the minimize button and select the exponent value. Here is the exponent value, and again confirming the exponent reference, click the maximize button. Now here you can see the base and exponent cell values, and here you can see the result of the function is 625. So after confirming all these inputs and output, click OK. If you have any doubt, go to back and select the different function and different inputs required for that. If you are okay with this function, press OK. Now the function will inserted in this cell. So if you want to edit the cell, press F2. Now here you can see the function is inserted, and base value and exponent value are calculated, and the result will displayed. So here you can see 5 power of 2 is 25, 10 power of 2 is 100. So this is how we can find the use the function in uh, OpenOffice Calc using function wizard method. Now we are going to see the next topic, inserting function wizard using with direct values. For example, these base value and exponent value you can give directly on the function wizard itself. So for that, what we want to do, simply give the value at that particular position. So now we are going to insert the same power by using the insert and function. In function wizard, we are going to select the category mathematical and select the function name, that is power. Instead of giving the cell name, now instead of selecting cell name here, we are giving the value directly. So base value is 5 and exponent value is 2. Now you can see the result also 25. When you press OK, the function will automatically insert with the direct values. So here you can see the function is inserted with the direct values. This is the second method. It is a method of inserting function with the direct value. This is the method of inserting function with the function wizard with the data reference or cell reference. Now we are going to see working with the charts, the next topic. What is charts? The most important feature of spreadsheet is preparing our ability to create chart based on numerical data. Charts are used to present data in a easier manner. It means charts are the graphical representation of the numerical data. So in cricket match itself, you can see each and every end of the over, you can see there was a chart will display about number of overs, about the number of balls, about the runs, about the wickets, about the six and fours. So by go through the number for number data collection, when you see the chart, you can easily understand what exactly the situation of that match. So charts are the graphical representation of the number form. We can create any type of chart using OpenOffice Calc in Chart Wizard. So Chart Wizard have very simple 4 steps. By using that 4 step, we can create the charts. So the 4 steps are here. You can see first step, from insert select chart command, select the chart type, select the data range to whom you want to create the chart, select the data series and select the chart element. Now we are going to see what are the different options available in this each and every step. First step, chart type. In chart wizard, chart type shows a list of charts like a cylinder shape, like pie chart, like bar chart. There are different types of chart we can select, and we can also select this chart as a 3D look also. So whenever whatever chart type we want, we can select here, like column chart, bar chart, pie chart, and area of the chart and 3D look of chart can be selected in this step, in the first step. After selecting the required chart type and look of the chart and press the next button. After the first step is over, in the second step, the data range. In this step, we want to specify the range of data for which the chart should be created. So in the data range, either you can select the range or type the range by using the cell references. After typing the range or selecting the range, there are two checkboxes used to set the first row or first column or both. For example, X and Y axis labeled to the chart, click next button to move the third step. So now in third step we are going to see how to tune the data to be included in the chart. If you don't want to include any column, click the column names listed in the data series box and remove the buttons. Or if you want to add some more columns, click the add button. By using the remove and add buttons in the third step, you can add an additional column for the chart, or you can remove the existing column from the chart and click next button. Now the fourth step, the last step, where we use to insert title and legend, the title box where we want to type the title, subtitle of the chart, and after typing the required data, then you can use the X label and Y axis label and click the finish button. This is the four important step for creating the charts. Now here we are going to prepare a chart for A1 to F11 data. So now we are going to follow this demo, the steps for creating the charts where we are using to display the charts. Now I'm going to demo this method in OpenOffice Calc. So remove the unwanted data from here. So go to the first cell. So here also we can remove it or we can add it as a total and apply this total to all the cells. We may include this column as a total, or we can fill handle this. So I hope you understand this concept fill handle, which we already discussed in the part 1. Now the first step, go to the insert and select the chart. The chart wizard dialog box appears on the screen. From that screen, now we want to select the chart type. Here you can see the 4 steps with different chart type. So now we are going to see that what type of chart we are going to create. So in the steps, now we are going to see what type of chart now we are going to create. So in this step, what we want to select the chart type as 3D look and cylinder shape. If you want, you can create any type of chart. So here I am going to select the chart as columns and I am going to click the 3D and make each and every column realistic or simple. So here you can see the different looks are appear on the screen whenever I change any of the option here. So in the shapes I select the cylinder or cone. So in the background you can see these range different changes or pyramid. Depending upon requirement you can see the changes. So here I am going to select the cylinder shape. After selecting the cylinder shape I am going to click the next button. So in the first step I select the chart type, I select the 3D look and I select the shape which we want to display on the screen in the chart and click next button. Here the range is automatically selected. If you want to change the range, so click the range minimize button, go to the area where you want to insert this chart. So this chart will insert in the separate phase in the sheet 1 as a part of this chart. If you want to insert, so here you can see the range. So go to the, just a minute. So first the range is selected automatically. So I select all the range and use the insert and select the chart. Chart type is selected. Cylinder, click next button. So here the range is also selected automatically. After selecting the range, now in the you can add first row as label or first column as label, whatever the data form you have you can select. So here first row as label, because we have formed the data the first row as label, that's why we select this checkbox. Now click the next button. Here you can see we can add number of row columns or remove number of columns depending upon this requirement by using the add and remove button. After selecting the range series, click the next button, type the title. So here I am going to type the title, that is 12th 11th C mark report. In this mark report I am going to enter all the required data. For example, if you want to add a x-axis label or y-axis label, you can add here. So after selecting the data, click finish button. Now here you can see a new chart is created with different label, so with different data. So here if you want to remove any one of the data, you can remove or you can change it by simply selecting the chart style. So in the from this dot data, you can minimize or resize the chart style, and depending upon your requirement you can resize this chart. So here if you want to make any changes, simply right click on the chart and select the data range, or you can use any other chart type method also. So here I am going to change the data range. So here I am going to mention first column and click OK button. So here we can see all the columns are added for each and every student, and if you want to remove any columns or if you want to add any columns to the student or numbers, you can also add. So go to the data range. Here in the data series you can see there are seven columns are added as a data range. So Tamil, English, Science, Economic, Account, Commerce and Total marks are added here. If you want to remove any of the mark, you can remove. You can see in the chart all the columns are added. If you want to remove Economics, select that particular column and click remove button and click OK. Now you can see the effect in this chart. So this chart will display all the required data. So this is the chart title. If you want to add the x-axis and y-axis label, right click on the chart, select the data insert titles, and here you can see in the x-axis marks and in the y-axis name of the student, and click OK button. So here you can see the marks name. So here we want to x and y axis, so I simply change it. Insert titles. In the x axis the name of the student is available, so I remove this and place it in the x axis. In the y axis I type the marks. Click OK button. Now in the chart you can see this one is the marks, this one is the name of the student, and this is the legend. If you want to display this legend, or you can remove this legend depending upon requirement, you can remove or display the legend. So select the uh, data 3D view, and if you want to remove the 3D view, right click right angle axis, then click it OK checkbox and click OK button. Now you can see the whole data is converted into different form. So depending upon your views and requirement, you can do any changes to this chart which you created. So you can even resize this chart, and if you want to remove the legend, if you select the delete legend, then this legends will display, will delete from the chart. So in the same way, if you want to insert the legend, then select insert legend, then that legend will automatically display. This legend will display what is the colors allotted for each and every column in the data. So now we are going to see how these data are used. in OpenOffice Calc. For example, so if once we create the chart, after creating chart, if you make any changes in that particular chart in data, you can see the changes will appear on the chart also. So I am going to move this chart to the right side for easy understanding and enlarge the size of this chart for easy understanding method. So select the chart, move the chart here. So here I am going to increase the size of this chart. Okay, so here I think you see the changes. Now you can see the green color is represent the total. So according to this chart list, when you see this chart data, you can easily understand who is the first student, that is first rank holder of the class, by simply judging the size. So you can say Vasagi, that is the highest total, 943. So go to the data. Here you can see Vasugi. So Mehrun Nisa 960, Vasagi 963 is the highest total. There is the only 20 mark different Mehrun Nisa and 963, that is Vasagi. So if you want to make it double or if you want to make it different change, then you can add the data or you can remove the data. For example, when I remove the Tamil mark, then total will automatically reduced from 963 to 765. Now here you can see the Vasagi's total is reduced. Now who is the first mark? Mehrun is as the first mark. So this chart and data are interlinked, and whenever you make any changes in the data, that changes will affect here. For example, I simply change the total of Mehrun Isa as 525. You can see the chart will have changed automatically. So here you can see chart column is reduced. So this is the simple way for using the chart in OpenOffice Calc, and this is the different methods for editing chart elements which we already discussed. So this is the end of the lesson. I hope you understand this concept, inserting charts, inserting functions in OpenOffice Calc. So do the practical work, all the practical work, and prepare very well for public examination. Prepare all the answers. If you have any doubt, contact me through WhatsApp. Best of luck. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.